Blake, Will was here. He might be late. Oliver, Brandon.
It's basically take the absolute value and
Jackson.
if it converges absolutely. If it doesn't, it still converges. It's additional. Neither of them. Just how was your Easter?
It's pretty good. I didn't way too much candy until that, but
I actually got to participate in the weekend this year because my brother's every year. And my parents hid some money in the eggs, and they had 2 cents, and I got both of them. So I got $2. Chloe got 4. And Logan got like 1.
Good morning, Fayetteville High School. It is Monday, April 21st, 2025. Will you please join me for a minute of silence?
That was not right, the goal that we did, 6.4 or 6.6. Or 9. So that's great. I know it has to do with the cake. I already forgot how cells work. I know one of them loses power.
Thank you very much. Will you please stand as you are able for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Alright, good morning guys. 781. First off, the whatever assignment you worked on last class, whether that was 81A or 81B, I need that this morning. If you didn't give that to me before we started class, you're welcome to turn it in with your quiz. This one is no calculator over absolute convergence and conditional convergence. Yeah, it just says so.
So we'd like me to move in as well. I know we can run home.
Oh.
I don't want to mix them up.
No, it's fine. I'm just trying to get an idea of how many total ones.
this was a 0, and
Yeah.
I realized I just never turned it in. So.
Yeah, a lot of people turned it in, and I think I forgot to ask, so
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's my fault, but I can get that fixed easily. Okay, I think we still have 1 or 2 people still working, that's fine. So take a few more minutes to finish up if you need to. But for everybody else, again, I think you probably knew how to get started here because it's a pretty similar format. But before I get too far into it, for Wednesday, so we do have Atlas testing this week, but instead of messing up A days like it did last week, it'll affect B days. So make sure you guys pay attention that you have Atlas in the morning, Tuesday and Thursday. Well, probably not you. Thursday is Algebra 1 Geometry, so I know that's not you. Tuesday is Biology, which I'm assuming is nobody. But Anyway, so that affects our RTI a little bit for the week. But on Wednesday, your mini quiz will be over area bounded by a polar curve. Now that's not to be confused by two polar curves. Finding the area trapped between two polar curves is a little bit more work. Just finding the area trapped from one polar curve was quite a bit easier. So down here, number 36 is where it should be in your binder. There is a formula to memorize on the front page of assignment 36. So that will be the formula. I give you 2 points for making sure you know. 2 points will come from a question straight from that handout. So please review it. If you know it, great, it should be easy. If you've forgotten it, spend some time reviewing it so that you can get the mini quiz points and you have one less thing to worry about for your AP exam. Okay, and then for the class assignment, once you make sure you have that jotted down so you know what to look over between now and Wednesday. Yes.
Will the mini quiz be calculated about?
I don't believe so. It'll just depend on the questions that I pick. If I pick questions that have some weird, crazy decimals that you need a calculator for, then I will. If it's something that's you don't need, you just have to set up, or maybe you just have to use basic unit circle, then you should be able to do that without a calculator. So I try to pick based on what I would think your AP exam would do. Okay, so again, make sure you have that written down. Probably 10 or 15 minutes of reviewing that should be fine, but again, it's something that you need to review before your AP exam anyway, so trying to give you some points for doing it early. Okay, as far as the 2 class assignments, so you actually picked up both of them on your way in. So I'm going to pass back your homeworks in just a minute. So same, some of you guys did both of the assignments recently, and so in gradebook you'll see that you got points for both assignments, but if you only did one, I gave you points for that one and X'd out the other one, so the other one doesn't affect you. So same today, you need to do either or. So the BC review is, I think, 12 questions. Let me go check. That's the one that says end of unit 10 review. Yeah, it's a total of 12 questions. So if you feel like you need more BC practice, or BC practice is what you need the most of, you should probably try that out as a practice test. Try to see how much of it you actually have to look up as far as formulas and examples and reminders, but any of those 12 questions that you don't know how to start could be things that help you figure out what you're trying to study. Okay, if you are more worried about AB, your AB assignment, if you'd rather do it, is 83B, and it is 2 practice FRQs. Now, both of these FRQs are particle motion FRQs. So particle motion is one of the more common type of FRQs. So, of course, I have no way of knowing for sure if it's going to be on your AP exam or not. I can tell my AB students that it's almost guaranteed to be on their AP exam. But when you guys have a couple BC FRQs, it just makes you have less AB FRQs, so less likely that it would be on there. But particle motion mostly is about knowing that relationship between position, velocity, and acceleration, knowing how you can take the derivative to go one direction, integrate to go the other direction, questions about position, questions about total distance traveled, questions about speeding up or slowing down, questions about, you know, if it's going right or left. But those are the same type. So if you choose to do that one, do the first one, 15-minute. I'm looking down here. Do that one, do a 15-minute timer, give it your best effort, but then when you check it, the answers and do the corrections in a separate color, try to learn from your mistakes. So again, you should be a little rustier on this one. We have not talked about that relationship since last semester. But then the back one is also particle motion. So if there's something you forget about on the front FRQ, there's a good chance that after you go over it and do the corrections, the back FRQ should go a little bit smoother for you. Okay, yes, what you got?
Can you get an AB subscore of 1 and a BC score of 5?
Can you? I don't know why
If
not.
Somehow, if you just reviewed and entirely focused on BC because you had a high enough score in AB from the previous year, and so then on all the AB questions you failed, but then you aced all the BC questions.
Is that possible? I think so, but I think it's very unlikely. So, on one hand, I could see that if they marked and told you which questions were AB and BC,
Right.
some of you would just tune out the AB questions and not even put any thought into them because you're not worried about your AB subscore.
Right.
But they don't do that, so you don't know if this is counting towards your AB score or your BC score. So you have to try on every question. And then some questions are going to be like, take the derivative and it's got chain rule. Like some of the questions, you're just going to have to know some of that. Some of it's just going to be integration. Well, you've done even harder integration. So some of the integration questions on there will be basic in comparison. So I think you'd almost have to try to get a 5 and a 1. So. But I guess it could happen in theory, so. Other AP questions? If you have not done that Chromebook check for at least one of your AP classes, I posted that on Google Classroom like 2 weeks ago maybe. You need to do that as soon as possible because if something's wrong with your Chromebook, it's not working, you're not holding a charge. If you guys wait till AP week to figure that out, there's going to be 100 other students doing the same thing, and then it's going to be hectic and stressful and on top of normal AP level stress testing and stuff. So make sure that you do that and make sure that your battery's good enough that it can hold up throughout the exam, or go see the tech office. Tech office this year is right below me. It's in phase 3, second floor. There's an office like right down here. So basically if you get down to this, right before you go outside is their tech office. So.
Why do they keep using those offices?
Tradition. No, I mean seriously. The counselors, the assistant principals, somebody always makes some decision that makes them have to move every year practically. So.
It feels like I remember Mr. Seaver's office was really bad.
Yep, and he was only there for 1 year. Some of it's different. Counselors and assistant principals need to be in certain spots so that students can easily see and access them. Like if all of our assistant principals are across the street, that's not good for discipline. They need to be like visible and stuff. So they're strategically placed where most of them are in phase 2 with the 9th graders. But that stuff changes all the time. I don't know. I think they're changing offices again next year. But so the tech office just kind of goes where there's room, and that's why they move a lot. Okay, I know I've been saying this the last 2 classes, but again, I just want to make sure that you know, because some of you should be doing both practices. If you do option 1 and option 2, you will get 2 class grades instead of 1 class grade. So if your class grade's not 100 or not very close to 100 and you're wanting to bump it up, and or you know on the AP exam you want to bump up your AP sub-score, and or you know that you're rustier on AB stuff than you would like to be, consider doing both and you'll get points for both. Now on Wednesday you will have to turn in one of them, and if you don't turn in either of these you get a 0. You can still make it up for late credit. But by Wednesday, only one has to be complete. If you decide to do the other one, I will accept it any time before the AP exam. So, the first 2 classes I gave you 2 options. It's fine if you didn't do both options, but if you decide you want to go back and do one of those for the extra practice anyway, you just have to turn it in sometime before the AP exam, and I will still give you full points on it, no late credit. Only way you're going to get late credit is if you don't do either one of them on time. Okay, so,
It was late credit to do what?
I'm sorry?
I missed about the last half of the sentence. It was late credit to do what?
On Wednesday, you need to turn in the one that you decided to do.
Yes.
If you don't turn in either, and then you turned it one in later completed, you'll get late credit, because it's late. As long as you turn in one of these completed on Wednesday, you'll get full points. If you decide to do the other one sometime before your AP exam, I will still give you full points on it. So if you decide to do both, you don't have to do both before Wednesday. You need to do one before Wednesday. If you want class points on it, I need it before the AP exam. The second one. That's all. Okay, I guess I'm going to grade these real quick and then I'll come around and help. Yes. Yeah, please make sure you guys do your corrections in a separate color. I will be giving you partial credit if you don't do that on practice FRQs. I need to see what you're not remembering, and you need to be able to see what you're not remembering. I've got plenty of extra pens and pencils, different colored stuff up there that you're welcome to use. Oh, I do have one more mini quiz I can pass back to you guys, so if I forget, you're welcome to remind me.
What's after one? Oh, yes. Versus or so it's there or not the fourth person. Yeah, it's fourth.
Do we turn this into a basket? Yes, please.
Yeah. Probably something to do with this, but I don't know. It's just the major results less than. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So 5 or 6. Major. Then what's our next one? C. Okay. So 5 or 6. 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 5 or At that one place. How was it?
What's your grade in this class?
Yeah. So we can just skip it. Zero exceptions. No series.
So, I just don't feel like it's.
Which actually more bits, shouldn't it? Because it's 4th degree, right? So it should be that already. Should it? Even though we're doing max of that, so it should be 4th. The 5 factors, the 5 factors are pretty shit. It's probably be. But also happens, yes.
write anything on this, so I'll try to look at it.
Oh, so I did these some of those dudes, right? But I left it on my desk. So it's actually for just
This is fancy, right? You want to take on
Oh,
this
just
one?
X one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
What is the interval again? 0 to 2? But then you're gonna check for inputs. Or the minute and conversions there. So I'm gonna check it out.
Oh, last section was just
Oh.
A different color pen that I could use? Or
Sorry?
Do you have a non-black pen that I could use to do the corrections?
Yeah.
Bottom what pen?
A non-black pen that I could use to
Oh,
do the
yeah,
corrections?
anything in that tray over there. Use what you want and just put it back when you're done so it's there next time.
So if you plug in 0 for it, you just be -1 and -1. Plug in 1 for it, it's gonna be 1. So wherever that so,
83.
so that EX is equals 0 to 8. So we got all those zeros. One last question.
So, when you are, I'm testing here to see basically if it converges or diverges, like actually at that value. So basically, -1 to the n plus 1 and times -1 to the n plus 1, it's just gonna cancel out basically. Or not cancel out, but like, if you plugged in 0 for n, it'd be -1 times -1. If you plugged in 1 for n. So it wouldn't be alternating. It'd just basically be 1 over n plus 1.
These are that's always positive ones.
Okay. So I'm curious, can you just say that this diverges by harmonic series, or can you not? Because I know that's
That's not the harmonic series, 1 over n.
harmonic series is 1 over n, and this is, I guess, less than the harmonic series. So you don't,
So that
you
doesn't
can't say it
help.
diverges that way. Okay.
Not from that, yeah.
Okay.
If it had been bigger, you could have.
Okay.
But if you make your denominator smaller, your fraction's bigger.
Okay.
So,
So then, what is a way that you could do it there?
what are you trying? Find that interval.
Just see if that converges or diverges. 1 over n. So.
The limit comparison test shouldn't be too bad.
Which is,
If I try
which
to,
one is that again?
Well, this is closest to 1 over n.
Mm-hmm.
So if you divide it by 1 over n,
Mhm.
it's the same as multiplying by n over 1.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'll try that.
You get a positive finite answer.
So they either both converge or both diverge.
Exactly. And
Okay.
1 over n is a good one to compare to because you know it.
Diverges. Okay,
So
gotcha.
it doesn't diverge because of the harmonic series,
Mhm.
but
But
it
it
was
could.
very close.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
On the scoring of this one, would I have? I did the for 6B. I did the justification saying because the signs are opposite. Would have had to specifically write that out to get the second point.
I mean, what do you mean by specifically? Like,
I didn't write like for that, but I did the justification there. I just said that when t is greater than 0, because the signs of acceleration and velocity are opposite.
I mean, to me, that you're considering the sign.
Yeah.
So you get the second
Okay.
point. And you said that the increasing, which is the answer, and then your justification
almost
is
have an
because
A.
they have different signs. So
Yeah.
I think you get all three points.
Not Cal. Sorry.
I wasn't here for the Eagles mini quiz. Is it okay if I do that now?
Sure. This one says no calculator at the top, but you actually can use the calculator if you'd like to.
Okay.
Was there a quiz that we could have done corrections on? I feel like I remember you mentioning that a while ago.
It was the last major one, not the mini quizzes, but
Gotcha.
I think that's.
Well, the way what I was doing was
I want to say 61.
okay, this is basically 1 over n.
Do you have them, or do I have them?
Harmonic average.
Uh,
But I don't think
A
we do
few
that
people
because
took
this
it, but
is-
most people did not.
This is
Let me see.
this whole thing is less than 1 over n, right? So, yeah. So we have to do one comparison. And yeah, because then you would know this is bigger than the compare to that, but since this is less than. One over n divergence. So if you had 1 over.
So then this is less than,
Yeah.
no, if it's higher, this is not good, so this.
Yeah.
Less than.
So we're gonna do one comparison first. Which is 3 divided.
Okay. Corrections need to be on a separate sheet of paper, but you need to make sure you have one of these done first. before you write them.
I got it.
Okay. Okay, I had just realized that if you were doing the BC practice today, obviously I want you to check your answers so that you know what you're getting right and which ones you're getting wrong. I just now added those to the class website though, so whenever you finish with those, refresh your class website webpage and then make sure you check and make sure you were doing it correctly before you move on. This way.
And we know that divergence is or divergence, both divergence. Because 1 over n diverges.
Brayden, do you know what these corrections go
Since
to?
that is, since one's finite and positive, you know, they both. If it was
FRQ
negative
progress
zero,
track
it would
6.
say, we don't know if they're both the same. They probably don't.
Or it's the whatever the assignment was on AP Cluster, the Monday one where.
So we got right.
for simulator.
Okay.
I watched like 2 review videos last night. I'm not sure if you were reviewing. Huh?
My
Yeah.
Unit 6 corrections were put into gradebook, and I kind of like looped it in on the back of one of my assignments. I turned it in the other day, but
Okay. So I have your quiz right now.
by quiz? Like no, like it was
Oh, I'm
on
sorry.
the college board, like the
I got
Unit
you.
6.
That's fine. That's
AT.
fine. I didn't see it back here, but I'll find it.
Okay, cool.
Well, we know it's don't we know that it's the same as you? Because it's not, it's x minus nothing. So see, it's not. It's x. Yeah, and then we gotta see if it converges with that. So it would, alternating series test would be going they're not alternating series, so alternating series. So it's converges, I think so.
I was checking my grades.
And 79A is counted as a 0, but you can get to an X. That way my mom doesn't
Oh,
have
it's
to
more
play as
than
much.
alternating series.
79A.
Yes. I'm planning on
Oh,
getting
yeah,
it-
you're right, you're
Yeah,
right.
I'm planning on getting it in before the exam.
Yes, we'll just say that.
This way I won't have any missing work, so I can look at my mom straight in the eyes and say, I'm doing as much as I can, Mom.
Yeah, and I shouldn't have put a 0 in there because you did the other one.
Yeah, thank you.
This is unusual for me. So. Okay, got a couple more homework papers to pass back, and I have your 10.15 mini quiz. So this is one of your older ones. The last person who needed to make it up finally did. So
Nice. Who was it? Late?
I'm not saying that.
Late. It was late. Wow.
Anytime you
Yeah, not somebody in this class. But I do plan on giving you all of your quizzes back. And I've got a list, so as they're made up, I'm checking them off. So if you're missing some mini quizzes, especially if they're pretty old, you need to come in and get them made up, please. I've not been pushing you or signing you up to do that, but if it's a couple weeks old and you still haven't made it, at some point it's got to be a 0 so people can get their quizzes back.
I think you should.
Thank you, Ray.
Thomas, do we have a calculator discussion tomorrow? No. Do we? Think so.
I've been reading. Have you?
See, I have. You know, I just thought about it because I didn't realize my book is not about that hack.
Oh.
So, I'll have to find it.
This section was a lot better than the first section. Half of your mission.
That's its last section, did not see that.
I've seen it, I've read it. Sorry, I've read it. I read it in sophomore year, because Mr.
Oh, no, that's not good enough. What's 2.14? Do you remember?
4 or 5.
Oh, it's one of those.
When you put this one in, that's in grab your
What's the next one?
Okay, sorry that took me a little bit longer than I expected. Does anybody have some math questions you'd like me to come over and help with? Again, if you're doing the BC, well, whichever one you're doing, you definitely need to check your answers. But the BC solutions didn't get posted till just a few minutes ago, so make sure that you check those. If you're doing 10% of it wrong and you have no idea you're doing it wrong, then that's probably worse than not even knowing how to do it. Well, I guess you would know how to do it either way, but.
I think so. I said it. I got this, right? And then I think these two will be back. You can cancel out, so it's 5 yen and 5 yen, which just goes to 1. Take the limit of and do something. Basically just answer the test. 5 yen over 5 yen. So you get doubles 1, but it's not 0. And if it's 0, it could converge into the average. Cosine alternates though. That's completely different cosine thing.
finish one of those two, you still got 25 minutes, so probably enough class time to not have to do any homework. Back the other day when we were out.
Oh, thanks.
So you can have that too. I had to pass this one out.
I'm doing just fine. 100 just one punishment. Come on, Dad just section punishment.
What is it?
Yeah. You got the door removed from his room.
What? Brandon, what'd you do this time?
Not me, it's Lucas.
What Lucas do?
What do you do?
He made secret plans that he wanted to pick up his girlfriend on the way to school this morning. She didn't tell us.
Is that illegal?
No, it's perfectly fine. I'm usually the one driving on the road, but I like the chauffeur. But this morning he didn't tell anyone, and then he was a little bit late. And he started fighting with my dad at the trash can as we were leaving.
About the trash?
Just a bad decision.
You don't fight with us.
You don't fight with me.
It's C, yeah.
Got C?
Yes.
But I thought that whenever you either the X plus either negative.
You lost his sword.
The whole thing cancels out.
Crazy.
I've lost my board.
You do that.
Okay, it's not be negative 4. It just be 1.
really?
It only
lost my
negative X
board.
only affects the X's.
It's really not
And
that
then
bad of a punishment.
It's not.
It's gonna be
Well,
plus
like,
X
just
squared.
what else are
because
they gonna do with him?
It's gonna be negative X squared.
What's next
My
is
dad
It's
took
gonna
his
be
flip phone too.
parentheses inside
You
the
took his flip phone?
X.
Are you gonna take
And
it
that
back?
whole thing's gonna be squared. It's gonna be
Just
plus
spends-
X squared. So the only things that cancel out are the oddballs. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you text her every so often.
Yeah, you don't need
to do that. I got 20,000
Yesterday.
That is even negative X. That's even X.
You don't need
Negative
it.
X.
You already have a 4.
And it's raining.
X.
No, we're starting Saturday night.
Cancel.
I'm about to go to church, it's raining. I walk outside, take the dogs out, he's out, I'm hiding from the family.
Every year they ask you a random question. What's your favorite vegetable?
So then I walk around with the dogs, about 10 minutes later, I'm
2X
sorry.
squared.
What's your favorite movie?
I come back, he's in the garage,
That's
hiding,
what they
talking to
decide.
his family. He hides it from his room.
So you can do like that instant. When you walk up to him, you can scream into the mic as loud as you can.
Seriously, you get that much to talk about.
That's what he did. That's what he did.
No, but
I
then
think Dexter did that.
you really want that.
Yeah.
So
Screamed
it's
into the
like
mic and then he started to chant and then he answered the question.
And then yesterday, he spent almost all day on Easter. Also, why is she never doing
Two. You
anything?
gotta make sure we're together.
Is she a bum?
If you start playing like a
We
bubble
did plus
It makes no sense.
X to the 4th over 4 factorial.
And he
So
got his
X to
phone
the 4th
taken
over
away
4
because he was
factorial plus
spending
X to the 4th.
half of his life he was talking about.
Is 3X to the 4th.
And then he got the new phone.
So basically, you blow bubbles. You sell those bubbles.
I don't know what it's gonna take.
It's pretty fun. You use those coins.
I'm actually making good progress, but I'm not that much.
Pets. Boost your stats. Boost your stats. And then
Half
as
of
you
that, half of
progress,
that.
more and more bubbles.
Oh,
Did you ever play any versions?
Yeah.
Going on to
Except the whole point of being is to go. So in the original games, you would AFK over 9 hours to catch millions of eggs. And you would try to get secrets. It's like the secret is one and if you have a shiny version, it's 1 in 4 billion. And if you have a chunk of silk, it's 1 in 100 billion. It's something else. That's the point of playing one is to do the secret things. In the original one, I would do 2 secrets. 2 shiny secrets.
Two X to the 3rd minus 2 6. Yeah, X to the 9th over 3 is 2. Yeah. Is that first four?
This is also complaints.
Series expansion, yeah. So you just got tweak.
That wouldn't be what is that? That's not how it works, right?
It's like another example.
Yeah.
I think it alternates. I think it's 1 minus x plus x squared minus x squared. So the first change. Ooh. My first change is to go 1 over the conference.
I can play What do we use?
Yeah, that's right.
I did get a level 5.
What?
14. No, not 14. All before. No.
One over? 1%? What I always do is just whenever they're doing the x, you do the x. So, if they're squaring the x, then you just square the x. And then x squared, you multiply everything by x.
Oh, you get to miss the
Why is it so long?
It had to be left over. It was. Yeah, they go like that. To the lunch.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Did you get that?
I guess my computer was like,
It was just like half that.
How many people were
down there when there was that 1%. I didn't use that 1%. Oh well. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to be like typically it's going to be like 20%.
Bro, that was such a shock.
I know. So you think there'll be more than 100?
It's so funny because I saw Cody like he lost into his car, and then I think Cheshire ran out, and he was just like,
Really?
Yeah, he was just like, shocked.
What?
It's like, what is this?
Precise like meaning words.
You saw it before I got out there?
No, like it was like, well, Cody was right at us, like 3 steps ahead of us. So no, I didn't see him. It's funny, Asher saw him before though.
I know, and I did look at
I
it.
wonder what you did see it?
I did.
You saw his text? Oh, you didn't. I wonder what Asher saw. Like, if he saw them moving, he's like, and then he's like, I might be tweaking.
Trying to finish
Or something. Yeah, he's like, I might be seeing things.
Yeah.
to 100%. Yeah, X and Y apparently is just bad. It's just so high outside of us.
What do you get? You like scored 96%.
I had a percentage for having a good student.
Yeah.
And I broke it.
I just stay negative 1 the entire week. It's gonna be x squared.
I haven't woke up
The two.
I think just for focus. I think I would just like just talk to Steve if I just woke up.
Really?
I don't know. I haven't done it. I haven't done it in a while. I don't know. I just think I just have to get myself to that.
X squared and x. Yeah, x squared times x to the game, right?
The story is pretty
So negative 1 power, and if you want to divide 6, I want that
It takes a while.
Yeah.
That was
Is there
At least you got like 6 hours.
Yeah, though, it's like-
I work.
I heard you say it.
I guess the first one.
Yeah.
I think mine
Wins one, so you're negative.
It's okay, cause
Minus two, it's gonna be.
it's my favorite topic, I guess, but other than that.
So that's
No, I just look at it, it's so stuff. Essentially, what do you want to play?
That exercise.
Yeah, but that's six.
Just,
That's
and
right.
then you have 6 hours before you see.
I did expert time.
I think my first. I guess well,
Yeah, you had a lot.
more free time in the middle of the night. Right? I guess you shouldn't.
I haven't played it
It's
on
Yeah.
once I've beat
Maybe I should start going to bed at like 8 o'clock and then waking up.
I had it
4 hours. 2 hours travel CS in the morning.
So I never played
There.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
go.
go.
Boys. Like,
This equals all that 7.
Yeah.
What's three total fun to go for?
It's not bad.
Function about.
it's decent. I just it's.
level one.
I always feel better if I went from like 6 or something. It's just so much
About
better.
and use it to.
I wake up at like 6 most days.
Probably
To go to the gym.
Yeah.
Legends Arceus, so it's probably
It's not worth it.
At least you're awake.
Yeah. I'm definitely awake.
I'm still like waking up. Like,
So that's the 4.3.0
Yeah.
First level
function.
sometimes.
And the derivative of that is
my first level was actually not a Legends. It was
just. Is it just we take the derivative of this?
Well,
Oh, yeah. From the rates. And then
I think we keep the
I might get surgery on my hands.
with the classes that it was just like moves.
He's like, "Hold on, guys."
Write down on foods before bedtime.
It's so strong that it's not
I
Do you get enough sleep?
keep your head slightly protected. It's really
Yep. Just negative 3.
I was gonna get
Like, takes you out.
The one.
I have
Okay, before we start to wrap up here, let me make sure that you guys know what you're on the hook for on Wednesday. So make sure you look over assignment 36 in your binder. There is one formula you need to have memorized to be able to find area bounded by a single polar curve, so not two. Two take some more work, but review that part first. 5-point mini quiz on Wednesday, similar format to what we've been doing, but if you have any questions, please ask. Make sure you have either 83A or 83B ready to turn in on first thing on Wednesday. And consider doing the other one if you feel like you know you need the practice or if you need the points. Any questions about any of that?